Okay, guys, so you ready to talk about Loki episodes 4 and 5, and we're gonna leave the finale for later because my buddy Chuck making me something very special, and I almost let it slip, and it's really cool. So, and Mom wants to talk about it, of course. You know, I can't leave Mom out of finales. I'm not gonna lie, this jersey is super fucking hot. It's super fucking thick. Somebody all fucked up at the bar gave me this. Yeah, gave it to me. I was like, you're really intoxicated and stuff. Dude, I can't have you in here acting crazy, eating your tail and shit. Please don't do this up here. Dear God, my cat's eating its tail. Normally, I would say, sir, you're gonna regret that in the morning. Don't give that away. But this was just, it's stitched in, like, this is too cool to not take when some drunk idiot offers it to you, right? Loki, episode 4, let's start with that, okay? Right into Sylvie's background and how Judge Renslayer, Mobius's co-worker, friend, whatever they are. Well, Mom was right, first and foremost. She was a scumbag. She was a scumbag. Now, I don't know if she's going to be a full scumbag later, but I think she's going to continue to be in the MCU is what I'm saying. I have seen the finale, but we aren't going there. We're just sticking to episode 4 for right now, and then we'll get into episode 5. Yeah, Mom was right about Renslayer being a scumbag, being an asshole, being a prick, and snatching up little kids, enjoying their Asgardian home. Snarf! Did you guys hear that? That thud? It's because she's flailing her body around. I think she's trying to kill something, which tells me there's something in here that she needs to kill. So I'm gonna let it continue. If she starts eating her tail, I'm gonna have to kick her out. Renslayer's a scumbag, snatching up little girl Loki, Sylvie, and we see that Sylvie, even then, her magic was strong enough for her to be like, no, fuck this shit, and get out. And so we get a total different... I really liked this. I liked the way they did this, was because when an adult like Loki goes into this scenario at the TVA, to us it was kind of funny. Like I said, I compared it to Thor Ragnarok when he's going through all his shit on Sakaar, and we'll get into that more in episode 5. But this was from same thing happened, but we get it from a different perspective of a kid, and that made it very scary and very intense. Alright, it was an intense scene with Loki too, but we had those humor scenes of am I a robot, yada yada yada. But with a kid, this is very sad. We see that she gets away. We see that that's how she has essentially grown up doing this. She hasn't just started doing it. Like, she's been doing this her whole life just to survive, running from the TVA. See that because of her getting away, Renslayer really, really holds a grudge against Sylvie. She's got mad beef with her. It's personal. It's personal for her. We get to see Mobius and Renslayer talking. We get to see their relationship a bit more. I can definitely see... I can't believe that Mom called it that she was a scumbag. I really did. I thought, oh, she's going to flip eventually too. But we end up getting that through Hunter, I think I have it wrote down. Hunter B-15? Is that right? Okay, well, we get Hunter B-15 being like, what the fucking fuck? And you can tell that she just wants to do the right thing, and this has shattered her. And it would, I mean, who wouldn't be shattered when their reality is broken? But you can tell that out of all of the Minutemen, she really, and they make that a point with her character, that she's about her job. We go back to Lamentis, where we finally get to see Loki and Sylvie together, and I thought it was very sweet. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was funny that they kind of make a joke that it's narcissistic as fuck, and it's like, no, that's pretty funny, but it's true. But do you guys like how they tricked the fuck out of us? Do you guys like how they tricked the shit out of us? Because remember when that scene first came out in a trailer or something, and we saw a woman sitting on this planet, and it's all alone, blah, 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 and everybody thought it was Black Widow on Vormir, and now we find out, nope, it's from Loki, which is fine, but I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh, you got us. You fucking got us, you assholes. While this is going on and they're having their little touching moment, though, Mobius is watching the timelines, trying to see a branch go off so that he can find them, and that's when we realize them just falling for each other causes a Nexus level event. Now, I kind of thought it was, this is a very obscure reference. I don't know many people have seen the movie Southland Tales, but for a minute, that's kind of what I thought was happening. I was like, oh, everything's gonna end because they finally touched. Like, that can't be a thing, like, or got together, whatever it is. If you've seen, at first that's what I thought was happening, and then I was like, oh no, Mobius is here to save them because their getting together caused such a rift in the timeline. They get saved. We get Mobius and Loki together, and Loki being offended that he doesn't have as many guards as Sylvie does. Sylvie goes to a separate place. Mobius goes to our original Loki, and that's when they start to, they start to talk about all this shit going on, and then Owen Wilson, Mobius, why did I just switch to calling him Owen Wilson, puts him in a time loop where we have Lady Sif kicking him in the nuts every 30 seconds, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, so we got him going in his little time loop. Essentially, they're waiting to interrogate him. And when we see them take Sylvie, then they go back to that, then Mobius says, oh, we killed her. And that's when our Loki finally gets upset, and it becomes an issue. When he is in that time loop, though, I did notice that they kept using the term alone. Well, I mean, it was the same thing playing out over and over and over again, but it was very distinct to tell him that he was going to be alone. And you can see that this now is bothering Loki. I also feel like they have to redeem this Loki, because our Loki who died was already redeemed through Thor Ragnarok and all the other movies, but this Loki didn't go through those things, so this one still needs to be redeemed, and I thought they did a very good job with that, because this is when we start seeing him redeem himself, is realizing, oh, I fucked up, realizing, oh, cutting off your hair wasn't funny, and it's something little like that, but it's her saying, you're going to be alone, you deserve to be alone, or whatever the line is. That's just, he's realizing, like, no, I can be better, I will be better, let's do this. After Mobius really gets to the core of Loki, though, and then they have their meeting with Renslayer, finally, Mobius calls her on the TVA being bullshit, because Loki finally convinced him earlier in their conversation that don't trust none of this, you were just a man enjoying your fucking jet ski, and they fucking kidnapped you. Mobius's death, I knew it couldn't have been a death, because I was like, there's no way, that was just so unceremoniously done, but I was very upset, and but then I was like, oh, maybe it is, because they're like, oh no, this character you like so much, bye, like Ned Starked his ass, but that wasn't the case. After he calls her out, that's when she starts pruning everybody. Take a minute to talk about the set, because it's very cool, and like I said, it gives me Thor, opposite of Thor Ragnarok vibes. It's got a lot of symmetry, it's very cool, but I really liked the hourglass shape in the elevators going to the Timekeepers. Just, it's very well done, of course, but it's very cool. I like it a lot. We end up finding out that the Timekeepers, what did we and Mom say? What did we say? They're bullshit. Mom didn't believe in space lizards, and I was like, no, it's the Wizard of fucking Oz. These are some bullshit. I didn't think they were going to be androids, but whatever. They fake. I really liked the fight scene in that, where in the choreography. That was really cool. But not only was it really cool, did anybody else get the new Star Wars vibes? But cooler. I don't know if I'm going to get a hot take for that, but it was very similar to the throne room fight, I felt like, in Star Wars. Obviously, with Rey and Kylo Ren, if you're not picking up on what I'm talking about. We get our Loki being pruned, which, like I said, once that happened, I was like, oh, are they going to go this far? But then I was like, no, it can't, and yada, 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 and he disappears, and whatever. Timekeepers are bullshit. Our Loki gets pruned. This is the first time we get a, what's it, in the middle of the credits or the end of the credits? We get a credit scene where we are introduced to the greatest character that the MCU has given us this far. Alligator Loki. He wakes up, sees all these other Lokis around him, and that's where we end episode 4. And I thought I didn't think that Boastful Loki, the black guy, was going to be... Can you not hiss at yourself? Please. You're embarrassing me. Jesus. You killed so many things the other day. Boastful Loki? Oh, I thought that was going to be a Thor for a minute, but then I was like, oh no, why would it be a Thor? But then I realized very quickly it was not Thor. But I thought that, oh, that's whatever, that was cool. But either way, whatever. Alligator Loki is the greatest thing they've created. That's how they ended episode 4. We get to see all the different Lokis. That's where we pick up in episode 5, and let's get into episode 5 right now. Of course, when the Lokis all meet, it's hilarious, it's funny, it's great, the writing is great. We have old Loki, our Loki, Kid Loki, Boastful Loki, and Alligator Loki. I identify with the alligator, and you can check my Twitter for talking about this. If you know me, you know I got gator paws, meaning my hands are that like an alligator's. It's hard to pick things up, they're tiny, they're chubby, but I really identify with the alligator. Don't fuck with it. But it doesn't really want no problems. It wants to just chill and hang out and lay there, you know? It's up for food. It will move fast for that. Other than that, they're just chilling. They're just chilling. They love the water, but they like being on the land. I identify with the alligator, so I really like this alligator. Let's get back to episode 5, though. Okay, so now the term I was, not the term, but how I explained it to Mom, I was like, I feel like this is like the Upside Down from Stranger Things mixed with Sakaar from Thor Ragnarok. You know how all the junk kind of just lands on Sakaar, but this one kind of was a little not the same as that. We're fucking around with time, so nothing's really the same, but whatever. So it kind of gave me Upside Down from Stranger Things mixed with Sakaar from Thor Ragnarok vibes. Trash everywhere. There's a ton of Easter eggs in the background. I'm not going to get into a lot of them, like the Thanos helicopter and yada yada yada. I just really want to reiterate how I'm like, oh, this is like Thor Ragnarok, but opposite. And I thought that could get redundant, but I like it. They did a very good job with it, because this could have gotten boring really quick, and it hasn't. But yeah, so now we are in the Upside Down / Void, where the end of time is and all that shit, you know. And we meet all the Lokis. We get all the explanations about it. Head guy in charge, and it's because he killed Thor as his Nexus event. And I was like, whoa, damn, that was cool. But and I really liked that a lot. I'm just gonna put all the TVA shit right now, like with Sylvie and Renslayer and all that. I'm not gonna go like through the episode in order, and I'm not gonna go in chronological order. We're just gonna kick all this out of the way. Miss Minutes is a creep. The little clock that pops up, like I said in my previous videos, anybody that says they're recording you and watching you is normally a problem. Sylvie talking to Renslayer bullshitting Sylvie about some time machine that don't fucking exist, essentially just waiting for backup to show up. And we get this back and forth. We get more of Renslayer's history. We get more of Sylvie's history. We find out this is just a grudge that Renslayer has, and it's fucked up. Sylvie finally realizes that she can't get out of it is when she prunes herself. And she goes to the Upside Down / the Void. Back to the Lokis. Let's get back to the Lokis. Okay, so now we get all the rules of them being in the void, and how we have to avoid this giant cloud monster that looks like the Nothing from the Neverending Story, and that's kind of the vibe I got from it, that it just can consume everything around it. I know this is a comic book thing, like I said before, and I will keep saying, I want everybody to enjoy things, and everybody to watch things, and everybody to talk about them, and without having to know every little thing. I know Eliath is a big, huge comic book thing, but it really reminds me of the Nothing from Neverending Story. I did like that they made it look like a wolf, and they're, like I said, they have talked, they do bring up Norse mythology in a way in this a lot, and I like it. Because I felt like Eliath kind of looked like a wolf at some point, and Fenrir is a child of Loki, and Fenrir is Odin's bane, and yada yada. I won't go down that rabbit hole, but Fenrir, oh, it's the wolf that Hela has in the MCU. That's Fenrir, but it is a Norse mythology thing, and then I kind of got like Cerberus vibes, like the guardian of the underworld. It's guarding the place where you want to go. Well, not that case, not with the underworld, but you know what I mean. It's guarding the thing we're trying to get to. So all our Lokis are going to their little hideout, going to the clubhouse. It looks like somewhere where you smoke pot when you were in high school, and it's pretty sweet. It looks like an arcade or a bowling alley, but Alligator Loki, just Alligator Loki. He's drinking wine, he's hanging in his pool, he's the best Loki. Then we have old Loki talking about how his illusions, he's like, no, I don't fuck with weapons. Our magic is the strongest. My illusions are how I fight. And boastful Loki starts talking shit. Who chomps him on the hand? Alligator Loki. That kid Loki's on the throne. Like I said, he's in charge. It was very cool, and then it was super funny. At least my Nexus event wasn't eating the wrong neighbor's cat. You know, all that was super funny. And then we get to fucking President Loki. So. At first, I didn't realize that his whole army is Lokis. And then my buddy Chuck and Lee pointed out, they're like, oh no, they're all Lokis. And I was like, oh yeah, because they survive. And they are all making up this band of people that are making it in the void. So they're all Lokis. That whole army is. But President Loki's in charge of it. He comes down there. We got backstab, because obviously boastful Thor set them up to take the throne. And President Loki wants Kid Loki's throne and yada, yada, yada. And for the first time, we get to see Alligator Loki in full action, and I was not expecting it, and it was great, and it was perfectly timed, and it was hilarious and great and awesome. But Alligator Loki pops everything off, everything gets wild, we get to see Old Man Loki's use of illusion and magic, and able to make them believe that they're still there to get away. I thought this scene was really fun and really cool. It was shot really awesome. So they get out, except for boastful Loki, obviously. Obviously they left him behind. Now back to Sylvie pruning herself. She ends up in the Upside Down. Who does she run into? Mobius. So they're cruising around, talking about let's make this plan about enchanting this fucking monster and all this shit. Well, when our Lokis get away from President Loki, because Alligator Loki's setting shit off right, is when we get them running into each other, running away from Goliath, and now we get to all of them making a plan to get past this monster, or, as our Loki wanted to do, kill it. I also love that Kid Loki is carrying the alligator around like I carry the snarf. I really like it. So now they're all camping out, discussing their plan. Sylvie tells Loki he's an idiot, we can't kill it, I'm going to enchant it, this, that, and the other thing. But now they're all finally in agreement of what they're going to do. And that's when we get a very nice moment between Loki and Sylvie sitting alone off to the side while Mobius is talking to older Loki, Kid Loki, and Alligator Loki, the greatest Loki. We get this really sweet scene between them and him giving her, or making her a blanket and all this shit, and it's super cute. I liked that with both characters, they reiterate, like, I've never talked to anybody or cared, and now I do, so what are we doing? Their plan is in motion, and finally they give Mobius the fucking tablet to go to the TVA. All of the other Lokis plan on taking off and not helping with this plan, but Kid Loki gives our Loki a sword, and that's like a big deal. That's a big thing. And then Old Man Loki, after Mobius' speech to our Loki about being his favorite and anybody can change and all this, that, and the other, Old Man Loki's like, I'm going to stay and I'm going to help. And then we get to the best part of the episode, besides Alligator Loki. What I thought was really, really cool, and if you've watched my videos, you know that I really appreciate music, but that they mixed in the Loki, Thor themes, but with Ride of the Valkyries. Don't know Ride of the Valkyries, dun 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 dun, and a Valkyrie is obviously from Norse mythology and is a warrior. Yeah, while we have Ride of the Valkyries playing with this remixed in music from the show, we have Old Man Loki making illusions of Asgard to distract Goliath, and it was sweet. He ends up, I mean, I don't know if we consider anybody dying at this point in the MCU, but dies, but goes out like a G and yells glorious purpose and goes out, and that was awesome. Sylvie convinces Loki, like, no, you can do what I do, we're the same, like, help me enchant this thing, which they do, and that's when we see the Citadel. I was saying, it's just like Wizard of Oz. It's just like Wizard of Oz, but with crazy time travel and all this crazy shit thrown in. We see the Emerald City finally, and that's how we end episode 5, which I thought I was kind of pissed about, but whatever. And like I said, we are going to get into the finale, just not yet. I just really want to talk about these 2 episodes for now. Them seeing the Emerald City, seeing what lies, well, the next part of what lies beyond, and I have watched the finale, like I said, we're not going to talk about that yet, but I really loved this episode. I think episode 5 was my favorite, even compared to the finale. A lot of the dialogue in this episode was definitely hinting at, well, it's fitting, because it's hinting at the past and probably what is to come. A lot of things about change, a lot of things about you don't have to be the way you think you have to be. Like, there's just, it wasn't just redeeming people, and like I said, the glorious purpose line, just a lot of this dialogue was just very well done, and it was just, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, because I was just very impressed by it. I really think episode 5 was the best episode. Yeah, I gotta get ready to go on a fucking road trip, essentially, and I'm not prepared, and yeah, but yeah, I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds, Alligator Loki, fucking finale with Mom when I come back on Monday. I'm just letting you all get caught up. Make sure you check out my other Loki videos. Tell me why Alligator Loki isn't the best fucking Loki in the fucking comments. I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It helps me a lot. We just passed 180 subs. I know that's not a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me. Thank you guys. We're fucking awesome. Yeah, tell me what you think down in the comments below, and me and Mom will be going into detail, so that video will be much longer about the entire series and the finale for sure on Monday. It's happening. Stay safe out there, guys.